Jane expanded the ghost field as we descended, so by the time we touched down on the blacktop road leading through the park, the bubble was wide enough to enclose the minivan and leave room for us to stand around it. The little family inside stared at us. It must have been a little strange, even for members of the hunt, to have people suddenly appear around them out of nowhere. The minivan was now invisible. I heard the B.O.B.'s yelling in the black sedan. They got out of their car. The hounds didn't stop them now, but retreated to settle around the minivan, partially in and out of the ghost field. It didn't seem to bother them at all. Dawn stepped up to the driver's side door and did some complicated gesture with both her arms. She explained later it was a ritual greeting and assurance of peace. Then she said something in what had to be their homeworld language, sort of bubbling and full of liquid consonants. Andress and Dabra and their children slumped a little in their seats, and their faces lit up with relief. Dawn stepped back to let Andress open his door. I was standing along the front of the car on the passenger side, and the day had finally gotten a little too long for me. Well, it was kind of awkward to bring my wheelchair in the ghost field, after all. I leaned on the front quarter panel as Dabra got out. She did that hand gesture and made a little bow to me and started talking in that language. I stopped her with a hand up in the air. "Sorry, Dawn is the only member of the hunt. We're just friends," I hurried to say. Dabra gave me a relieved look. I found out later that she preferred speaking English. She and Andress had only started teaching their children their homeworld language maybe 3 years ago, and were ashamed to admit they had forgotten a lot of it. Well, duh. They were pretty young when they left home. They should have been proud they remembered as much as they did. Dawn hurried to explain about the ghost field, and that we were invisible to the enemy now. Then we all turned to look at the B.O.B.s, who were stomping and staggering around the perimeter of the ghost field. They kept bending over and reaching forward, trying to find the car. It was easy to see where the ghost field ended, because every time one of them touched it, he sort of slid sideways, pushed aside or repelled. "So, do we just wait here until they give up and go away?" Andress asked, once he and his family had been introduced to all of us. "Something tells me they aren't the type to give up and go away." Daniel sounded almost amused, which was really not all that encouraging. "Look at them. They're true believers." I took a really good look at the 6 B.O.B.s, and I understood what he was saying. Black suits, kind of frumpy, not fitting quite right. Black hats, black dime store-style sunglasses, black Oxford shoes. No fancy tech gear. Only 3 had pistols. Kind of snub-nosed revolvers, maybe. I didn't get a really good look at them. I had to go back to my original assessment of their car. Refugees from a Connery Bond movie. "Wannabes," I murmured. "Men in black, but with no alien tech gear to back them up. Or maybe they're Blues Brothers fans, kind of like how people dress up for Rocky Horror Picture Show." "Reprieve," Daniel said, gesturing down the road coming from town. Movement resolved into 2 vehicles coming around the bend in the road, past the thick clumps of bushes and overhanging branches. Gordon in the Neighborlee PD SUV, followed by another police cruiser. The 6 B.O.B.s were so busy trying to find the van, and being repelled by the ghost field, they didn't notice the oncoming vehicles right away. When they did, they let out yelps and curses and dashed back to their car. The hounds sort of blipped out and blipped back in to surround the car again and shoved the doors closed. Now the B.O.B.s couldn't get the car doors open to climb in. I really hoped they left the keys in the ignition and the hounds had locked the doors.